my father was a businessman, middle class, well educated, worked for the UN, also had his own store and was just trying to make a good life, a beautiful life. And then Duvalier came into power and put an abrupt stop to that. He left Haiti alone, moved to Texas, and based on a friend's recommendation, and the job that I was waiting for was to be a waiter. My father's a proud man. He doesn't wait tables. You have to understand this is in the 50s in Texas. Would you imagine not only being black but being Haitian? So my father left Texas to go work in New York in the Navy shipyards, in which he had roommated with four Haitian men, and they shared this room, and he would send money back to my mom. So we landed in March of 1965. Pan Am flight, short pants, at the end of the winter. And New York was a strange place. My parents always wanted to bring Haiti to me no matter where I was. My parents, living in New York, there are many times when we went outside of our inner circle, outside La Belle Vie, when we ventured outside that beautiful garden and went into sometimes the ugliness of post-civil rights America. I was always the only black child. I was always the only black child there. It's funny now because you gotta laugh because I really haven't really given it serious thought, but everywhere we went, I was the only black child around. There was nothing but white people around me. My father says, don't be uncomfortable. I got you, He said, don't be uncomfortable, I got you. Man, my dad, the books he read, Black Panthers, he read Nietzsche. My father coined the phrase Little Haiti. It was during an interview with the Miami Herald. And it actually happened like this. He said, if the Cubans could have a little Havana, why can't the Haitians have a little Port-au-Prince? And then he says, that might be a little bit too long, but maybe they should have a little Haiti. And that stuck. Subsequently, the year after, 80, 81, 82, we had a large influx of boat people to Miami. I remember Haitian immigrants come to our residence, our home, and requesting my father's help. My father used to take them in, house them, fill out the immigration forms, or get them odd jobs. It was like the Underground Railroad back then, He used to process all these people, and just give them a sense of identity and shelter and cultural refuge. This record store is where they could go home. I could see why my father stayed away so long, because he couldn't go back to that, because it would have killed him, because he couldn't shut up. He couldn't see people suffer. He would have to make a difference, and he had to protect his family. That must have been hard for him to make that choice. When I think of the phrase La Belle Vie, I think about the life that my parents left behind. I think about the connection between the new life they're beginning in the United States and the culture that binds them back to their history, to their past. I think about La Belle Vie as it pertains to all the good things that my parents tried to instill in my own life. I think about loss. I think about gain. I think about family. But the good life is not always the easy life.